don't know how good you can see it, but you can see he's in there. He's got his head turned and he's got a big smile on his face and a bag of fast food in his hand. And that's the first one I ever filmed right there.
What you are about to see is the story of C.Wayne Wilson, a middle-aged former wrestling promoter from Reidsville, North Carolina. I met Wayne online last year, and after a few conversations, I was captivated by his story. You see, Wayne's story is about as unbelievable as it gets. So I took the weekend off, gathered up my camera gear, and headed up to Reidsville to see for myself just what really was going on.
Hi, my name is Wayne Wilson. I live in Reidsville, North Carolina. I'm 49 years old, and this is my journey with monsters. I was coming up this way, right? And I'm walking down, and a lot of times, like last year, there would always be something right here. But that particular tree right down there, there may be something down there now, but that tree down there last year, that particular one had that big shadow on it. And that was where Anubis was spotted the first time. I've actually got plenty of footage from that area, but now the cows are here. They let the cows come down here, and all the Sasquatches have left. They're more back further down the trail now. I'm more sure of it. And you know, when the sun is out like it is now, there's always Sasquatch down there, but now it ain't. It's just none down there now. Kind of weird. That used to be what I called that's what I used to be called my hot spot, where I would find some, but now there's none down there. So, you know, they're more up the other way.
Wayne believes he sees monsters in the city park close to his home. But while some of his detractors say that it's simply pareidolia, he believes that what he is seeing is real, and that they even communicate with him telepathically.
One thing I've noticed about Bigfoot, and the phenomenon about Bigfoot, is how they use these tree stumps and use the trees to hide. It's kind of amazing how sometimes you can be looking at a stump, you think it's a stump, and if you look close enough, there could be something behind it or something laying against it. You know, not always is that the case. Most people get fooled by these stumps. Case in point, if you looked at this at nighttime, it could have a face on it, and you'd be fooled by it. If you're coming up in the dark, and this is what I try to tell people when they're looking for Bigfoot, don't hunt them at night. You come up in the dark and you see this. If you walk next to this, and at nighttime, it's going to give you the illusion it's a Bigfoot. It's not. It's a tree stump. But I've learned how to decipher between what is and what is not a Bigfoot. And like down here, a couple of times, one time last year, there was a big one laying down in there. And like I said, he was doing things that I'm not going to discuss on this video, but there was a big one laying down there. But
hold on. What was he doing?
You want to know what he was doing?
Yeah, we want to know what he was doing.
He was laying there, had the biggest heart on you ever seen. And I believe there was another one beside of him. They were acting. I actually got the picture of it, and you know, we got a fan that loves that picture. And I'm not crazy. I mean, I've actually seen this. It was a vision that they gave me once, where I saw a fleet of gold UFOs landing in New York in a field, and from what I was told, they'd been
like maybe Central Park.
I'm not sure. I just know they showed me a gold UFO, and it had been setting on the other side of the sun, but it was supposed to arrive in New York at some point, and they gave me a vision of this. So I'm believing the blue that was in New York a few weeks ago may have been the arrival of that ship
Oh, that blackout they had?
Yeah.
It was all blue?
Yeah, because...
They claimed it was a transformer, I think.
Do you believe it?
Well, that's what they said.
I don't believe it for one reason, because why would I see a gold ship land in New York? And I seen it probably in the future. I didn't see it as present. I saw it in the future, and that was last year. And guess what? Something happened in New York. I'm not saying it is,
Yeah.
but explore the possibilities. If you don't question everything, then what are you doing if you don't question it, you know?
Right.
Now, most of the monsters he sees are Bigfoots or Sasquatch, like this one here, for example. And here you have a white Bigfoot. This next one, well, it's the one he didn't want to talk about. Now, not all of the monsters he sees, though, are Bigfoots. He even sees Egyptian gods. Here, for instance, is Anubis, the god of the dead. And this last one is Horus, aka Birdman.
So, why do you never walk over to these things?
It's out of respect.
Okay.
I kind of, this is why I do it. I learned a long time ago. Don't get too close to them, because when I did before, I got a visit from one of them, and it wasn't a nice visit. He was in my windows. He was screaming at me. You don't want to be woke up with a big giant screaming at you. So I stopped getting too close to him. But at the same time, I start having the respect. This is their house. You don't want them coming into your house with a camera, sticking it right down your face. So why would I want to go that far? As close as I am to him now, why would I want to go any further just to get a more clearer shot, to betray his trust? Because he's there because he trusts us. The day I start getting too close to him, then I break that trust. And I mean, you can tell, I don't think he's been carved.
Okay, go ahead and talk about it.
First time I saw him, I was blown away, because it's almost like you're looking at a Bigfoot. And from what I've been told, this tree is 100 years old or better, and he's always looked like that. So who carved him like this? Or was he like this already? And if he's like this already, this is one cool looking tree.
What do you call him?
We called him Kong. Well, I don't call him Kong. Some people here, some of the elderly people that's seen it for a long time, they're the ones that named him Kong. But I guess they kind of did it because he looks like a Bigfoot. But they call him call him Kong. And there's plenty of times I've been out here where I've come up on this tree, and I swear his face changes. You know, you can come out here one day and he'll look depressed. You come out here one day, his eyes will be more awake. I mean, people say trees aren't awake. I believe this one is.
The first day with Wayne was perplexing. He really truly believes that he sees these things in his photos. But for the life of me, I just can't. The next day, Wayne's friend Kimberly McGeorge came out to join him for a hike. She's a psychic.
My name is Kimberly McGeorge. I'm a professional psychic and a naturopathic doctor.
I was out here and it was pitch black out here. I had got out here and it was dark.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to walk, and there's a Bigfoot standing right beside this stump. So I walk right here next to it, and I get as close as I can, but it's dark.
Yeah.
But if it hadn't have been as dark as it was, I could have got a selfie with him, because he was right that close. You know.
Well, I can tell. Well, that caught my attention because of the black. It
Well,
looks like a portal type area
and
here.
not only that, something like I was telling him yesterday, something like that in the dark, anybody else that don't know no better would think that's a Bigfoot.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's correct.
How did you first meet Wayne?
Really interesting. So I go through phases of researching and investigating different paranormal activity. I've worked with a lot of paranormal teams across the world. So I was kind of coming out of the paranormal and getting into cryptozoology, and I was going through videos on YouTube, but I had no idea where Wayne lived, no idea how close we were. And I started seeing this guy's videos, and they were so weird because he would just film the woods and he'd be like, do you see all the Bigfoot? Do you see this? Do you see that? And I've had the gift of sight since I was young, and I could see every single thing this guy said. And so I contacted him through Facebook and I said, do you mind, since we only live like 45 minutes away, if I come and like just verify like with my own eyes the actual site? And so I came over, and that it's been on since then. I really flipped out. When I first stepped into his yard, I had my daughter and we had a camera, and the trees actually started swinging. The little baby Bigfoot actually started swinging on the trees, and we have it on video. And so it was just a beautiful sight. And I mean, in my opinion, Wayne is 100% honest and accurate in, you know, what he is sharing. And I think he's a really good opportunity, whether you have the sight or can see, or whether not, you can learn a lot just kind of from seeing through Wayne's eyes. Push these over, some of them.
Possibly.
I think there's too much destruction. This to me looks like they're kind of messing, you know, that they like.
I was
they like
telling,
things their way.
I was telling him about the day I came in here, and they had took this stuff right here and ripped it off.
Oh, I saw that on your thing.
Because he went down and was looking at the steel table, and I said, "Can you believe how that thing wound up on the deck?" I said, "My theory is some big mad dog man came in here and tore it all apart."
I agree.
Not necessarily a Bigfoot, but
I don't know.
Well, Bigfoot.
They get pretty rambunctious, in my opinion. This is, okay, to a normal person, they'd just be like, this is a woods.
Yep.
To someone with a trained eye, they're like, this is them. This is them. The whole thing.
Yep. Oh,
I mean, look at all these leaners up here.
Well, come over this way. I'm going to show you something, because you can see this.
Oh, even over here.
Well, yeah, you can see him. Look straight back there.
Oh, I see.
See that black back in there?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and if you walk a certain way, you can see Birdman, and he's back there too.
Birdman's back there right now.
You have to stand where I am and look straight back, and you'll see White back in there.
I see White. Is that him?
Yeah.
My eyes are back, and I'd have to get it on the camera.
What he does is he stands back behind a tree, right, and then he leans in and look, and that's what he's doing. I can see him right there. I see his black on his eyes.
I can't see with
Yeah, well, you have to see real far though.
Yeah.
I can't even get him with my cell phone.
Oh, you can't?
Far. No. But yeah, he's back there. I can see him. The sun's out. That's why a lot of them are out here right now.
The sun, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, got it. But I can't see any detail. Oh, I see the Bigfoot better than I see anything else.
Well, you know how I find Birdman? I zoom in on him
Something
first.
moving back there. Oh my gosh, Wayne.
Well, there's a portal back there too.
Oh my gosh, moving like crazy back there.
Sometimes I can come out here, especially in the summer. There will be all kind of junk back there, and you know how all that purple aura and stuff that we see.
Well, you know that is your 100% proof. Whenever you have that frequency of that violet, there is something totally white back there.
Yeah, well, there's a white one back there that always sits beside of him, or he's laying back in there. Woo! And then there's then the Birdman's the next.
They're moving too.
And the Birdman would be the next one.
Yeah, I see him.
Wayne has even had a brush with the MIB, or Men in Black. The Men in Black are a top secret, clandestine government agency that shows up when something otherworldly happens. We even had our own brush with a strange person who seemed to be following us. The guy was standing in a pond wearing what appeared to be church clothes, knee-deep in water, and asked Wayne if his name was Kirby. Now, while this did seem awful strange, we continued on. It was only after a few feet, however, that I turned around to see if he was still there. And what would you know? He was gone.
Oh, wait, is this the trail that the Men in Black followed you on?
Yep. That was about February of last year, not long after I found Anubis out there.
Yeah, but was he wearing like the whole Men in Black thing, like a black suit?
Really tall, black hat, black sunglasses, black suit, black slacks, shiny black shoes. Didn't look like nothing that should have been on this trail.
So what, I mean, but where did you encounter him? Was he following you? Was he ahead of you?
We first encountered him when we first pulled up.
Okay.
And I was sitting in the car with Kira. And I seen I seen him, and I told Kira, I said, we might not need to get out right now. I said, because this dude don't look right.
Like,
Kira said, Daddy, let's go home.
oh, she
And I was like,
him?
no, we're going to go. Let's give him
Right.
20 minutes. We'll give him 20 minutes and let him get all the way down. So we watched him.
Oh, so he went ahead.
Yeah. So we watched him. He got as far as here. And we saw he was really, really way ahead of us. So then we start our thing. Now we're out here about an hour and a half. We ain't seen him. And he's
Okay.
all ahead of us,
Yeah.
but we still haven't seen him. So we start coming out back over there where we first come in, and we're heading out, and we notice he's behind us. And he's following us. And the whole time Kira's thinking, Daddy, we need to pick up some rocks if he gets too close.
Oh my goodness, Wayne, that is terrifying.
Well,
oh my gosh.
that's the same week. That's the same week. A few days later, there's a red car sitting out at the trail.
Yeah.
2 people sitting in that car.
Uh-huh.
2 people's in that car, and then all of a sudden, I see them when I pull up. I come back. They haven't got out of their car. They're still
Yeah, they're
sitting in their
just
car. So when I got my car and started driving out, guess who got in behind me
They,
and followed me like almost 3 miles down the road and stayed
they're
behind me.
watching
And
you.
the camera.
Oh my gosh.
The reason I don't never record them is the cameras never pick them up good.
I know they don't. Mine doesn't.
And it's
either.
not deep enough to cast it anyway.
It's not
but
deep enough to be that
You know,
individualized.
and you
but
know
still.
when people start taking pictures of footprints, the
Yeah.
one thing they don't look for is the big toe.
I do. That's why I don't usually take them because they're not always differentiated enough.
I'm surprised there's one right there, but
I am too.
it was back last year, I think, or a year before last. It snowed. It had snowed. This whole area was covered with. This whole bridge right here was covered with snow. What I discovered on this bridge right here was multiple footprints. I mean, talking about
in the snow?
in the snow. Well, what had happened? The snow had melted, and everything was froze, and you could see all the footprints where they had left them.
That's cool.
And multiple
Well,
footprints.
unless they fly or go down there, yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
I think a lot of
Do you have
times.
video of that?
No, but I got pictures of it.
Oh, pictures. Okay, that's cool.
You know, I didn't record video of it, but to see the footprints everywhere, it was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
Okay, so why do you think Wayne claims he was chosen by the Sasquatch? Why do you think they chose him?
I think people might misinterpret what Wayne means by that. And I do believe he was chosen, but I believe he was chosen because he has the ability to see them. And the really cool thing about anything in the paranormal, but particularly in the crypto world, is if you take just the tiniest step toward them and you say, I'd like to see, teach me, show me, they're going to step forward and meet you. So because Wayne has these, and he is, I know a lot of fake psychics and a lot of fake healers. I've been in the industry forever. But Wayne is the real deal from birth, and they know this. They read frequency. And so I do believe he was chosen because he's open and he has the ability to see. I don't believe he was chosen. A lot of people misinterpret that like he's chosen like this, kind of a savior figure. I don't believe that. I believe he's open and he sees them and he understands how to communicate with them. And so they come to him and interact with him. It has a lot of different energies. It's almost like different worlds within one world.
Well,
Don't you think?
I think it's weird because when I had to move, I didn't have nowhere else to go. And
I
so
forgot about that.
Yeah, for like 2 months, I didn't know. I kept filling them saying, you need to come find us. But I couldn't find them. I didn't know where to go. And then all of a sudden, my sister-in-law was taking pictures of this trail. She'd been running. And then I started seeing them in the pictures, and it was almost like they're calling me. Oh, now you have to understand people's personalities and always use the filter of who they are when you listen to a story of anyone. You might know your brother-in-law, loves to tell a story and he embellishes with creative details, but the base story is true. So this is what I'm going to say about Wayne. Wayne comes out of the wrestling industry, kind of the WWE. So Wayne is not just a character, he is a character. Wayne is not pretending to be a character, Wayne is a character. So Wayne is going to be flamboyant and sometimes he might add a few colorful details. However, here's how I know Wayne was telling the truth. I see the same thing Wayne sees. And not only that, my camera
sees the same thing Wayne sees. And if you come visit us, your camera is going to see the same thing Wayne and I see. So no matter how extreme it sounds, and also I'm going to say another thing. When you look at a picture, 5 different people can see the same thing. And if you're a videographer or an audio specialist, my background's in radio, you have a different ear and eye. So people that have looked at 100,000 Bigfoot pictures are going to be able to see different things than someone that's looked at 10. So some of the judgment that people put on people like Wayne, or even they put it on me too, or anyone in this industry, is somewhat of an expertise judgment, not an actual judgment. But I won't verify 100% that every detail that Wayne says is 100% true unless I was there. But Wayne and I have experienced things together that were profound, having to do with other things like paranormal entities and energies. And all I know is when Wayne and I are together, things do amp up and usually step forward. And we can document that on audio and film. And I don't know how you can argue with that.
Back when I recorded that video of that Bigfoot smiling at me.
Yeah.
This is the spot where he had his head sticking out.
Aww.
No, what's amazing is he had this stuff on his face.
Oh, that's right.
It's still there.
That's weird.
Where he had his face into that crack right there.
The picture.
Yeah, it's a cool. Well, the video is incredible too. Coming. It took me to notice it. Anybody else that comes through here is gonna think it's a tree stump. But you can see. I mean, I looked at this arm. I mean, it looks like a tree stump. But when in the world have you ever seen a tree stump with an arm like that? Sticking up. I see you up there smiling.
There's people coming.
Alright. Is it? But Kira messed it up.
How'd she mess it up? Did she talk?
No, I walked by him at first, right?
Yeah.
I walked by him and then I come back. I said, wait a minute, something's back there. So Kira thinks we're leaving, but now we're not. So I come back and I said, well, look at here. And then I start talking to him and I get about a minute in. Daddy, there's people coming. Bam, I had to cut it off and leave.
So that space wasn't there. There's a Bigfoot head.
When he had his head stuck in that one night. It hasn't been there since then, but he was
Right.
but he was there that day. And it was kind of dark when he was there, but I mean, you talking about something that you could see his eyes, you could see you could see his teeth in his mouth.
I remember.
And we recreated some of this yesterday, right?
Oh, you did?
I stuck my head in it, and you don't realize how big he was.
Because yours didn't.
His head had to be this big. Counting my head, and then he had to be this big. He had to be massive, and what I found too when I was up there, he had to be on his knees when he did that.
True.
There's no way if he's standing he could have did it.
They're so silly, aren't they? They're so crafty and silly. They are.
Okay, one last question. Okay, so even Wayne admits there's a good amount of people that do not see these things.
True, that's true.
Is there a reason that they can't see them?
That's a great question. That is a great question. So the reason I believe that any individual would not be able to see a ghost or a portal or an energy around someone, maybe you would call it an aura, is a difference in frequency. So from birth, everybody has the same exact abilities Wayne and I have, whether you know it or not. It's the development and it's the purification of your body. So for some reason, despite all the things, the fluoride in the water that calcifies our pineal gland, all the foods we eat, some people still have this ability, and I believe it's in the DNA and it's natural. Now, can you come up to the same level? Absolutely. I also believe it's a frequency thing. These beings from other dimensions vibrate at a certain frequency. The closer you vibrate to their frequency, the easier you're going to be able to relate to them and see them. So that's my theory.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time has come to an end. I can honestly say that over the past few days, I've not only heard some weird tales, but I've also experienced a few myself. It makes me wonder about this whole gift of sight. Well, until next time, y'all take it easy, and thank you for joining Wayne and myself on his journey with monsters.